What is going on, gang? This is Ian coming back at you with another Motivational Monday video. And this week we're talking about one of my favorite things in the whole world, and it's guitars. Before you click away and you go, I don't care about guitars, just understand that what I'm about to say can carry over into pretty much anything else that you want to buy or that you're looking into, whether it be other pieces of music gear, cars, computers, anything. So you can apply it on pretty much any level. That being said, what we're going to talk about today is budget guitars versus boutique guitars. Now, I have two. I actually have one of each, and we're going to check them out. Before we get any farther, one of you, I guarantee somebody is going to say, oh, well, Ian, since this guitar wasn't made with a Bubinga this and a Wenke that, and it doesn't have a 27 to 25 inch multi-scale, and it wasn't made in an underground bunker that 7 people in the Western Hemisphere know about, it's not really a boutique guitar. Shut the up, all right? Don't be that person. Don't ruin it for everybody else, okay? I guarantee you're the kind of person that finds out about a party that they weren't invited to, and instead of the host of that party just like politely asking you not to come, they just cancel the whole party because that's you. You're a ruiner. So don't be a ruiner, okay? How about that? Now that I got that off my chest. Some of you might not know what exactly a budget guitar is. It's pretty simple. The name pretty much gives it away. It's just a cheaper version of name brand guitars. They make tons of them. There's numerous different companies, and some of those budget companies actually make nicer, higher end stuff. And one of the ones that I have actually is like that. You know, these budget companies, they take the classic guitar shapes that you know, and they adapt them to their company. They might change something here and there. They usually use cheaper woods, cheaper metals, cheaper electronics, stuff like that. That's really all a budget company is. It's just an off-brand version of the name brand guitars or drums or whatever the hell you're looking at. Let me just say that this video was a request from one of our fans named Sean. So Sean, thank you very much for the video idea. He wanted us to do one specifically about guitars and budget versus boutique guitars. So boutique guitars are guitars that are made by lesser known companies. They're not budget guitars. They're usually higher end model guitars. They're just made by companies that aren't as big as Gibson and Fender and PRS and Jackson and all these other companies. That's all they are. They're just smaller companies, but they still make nice stuff. With boutique guitars, you usually get a really nice higher end product, but you are going to be paying kind of a lot more for that product. It's usually a smaller factory, or it's maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people that are working on it. It's not a big, assembly line type factory thing. So there is a lot more cost and a lot more labor in those people doing that work. So that's kind of what you're paying for. But in paying for that work, you are also getting a more precise, usually meticulous type of craftsmanship when it comes to the instrument or whatever it is that you're buying. So there are pros and cons. Budget guitars, cheaper, usually down the middle, okay? Boutique guitars, very nice, usually quite expensive. Let's get into some guitars right here. I'm going to show you my budget guitar first. This right here is my Agile Ghost 725 in Tribal Red. I bought this guitar probably 5 years ago for about $800, give or take. Now, $800 to some people is a lot. $800 to boutique guitars is literally nothing. I thought $800 is an okay price. I don't think with the other guitars I've ever owned, I've paid more than $1,000 for them. I'm a working man's guitar player. I don't have expendable income like that. And so I just pour. This guitar is awesome. I love this guitar. I've had 2 of these. The other one was a 27-inch baritone 7-string. And this one is just significantly better than the other one, or at least I like this one more than the other one. It is 7-string guitar with an inline 7 headstock. It has a Floyd Rose Special tremolo in it. I don't particularly mind the Floyd Rose Specials. They usually stay pretty well. I've done, the average maintenance on them. I've replaced all the saddles over the last 5 years. And the only other thing I've done to it is I've actually installed a tremolo stopper here. I don't know if you can see that there or there. The reason I did it is because when you are touring with a guitar with Floyd Rose system in it, and you're crossing various temperatures and climates and all that stuff, they can get a little iffy. To cut all of that out, I installed that block in the back so I can still press down on my whammy bar, I just can't pull up on it. What it did is it stabilized my tremolo a lot more. So I still get access to the bar, I still get the fine tuners and the locking nut, but I don't have the instability of the Floyd Rose system, of all the tension-based springs and everything like that. When I got this guitar, all I really had to do with it was your basic setup, which you should do anyways. If you order a guitar online and you get it shipped to you, understand that they are set up to be shipped. They are not set up to play. So when you get them, take them to your local guitar guy, or if you have a buddy who knows guitars very well, or if you know guitars very well, set it up properly. If you don't know how to set up a guitar, there are millions of tutorials on YouTube, and Stu Mac makes pretty much every tool that you can possibly need. Like I said, all I really did with this is lower the action, re-intonate it. I've done general maintenance on it, and it has worked very, very well for me. I've done hundreds of shows with this guitar, and I have no problem with it whatsoever. I put this little piece of foam here to stop the harmonic overtones, which you get with some guitars or most guitars. When you're palm muting hard, you tend to get some harmonic overtones, and you kind of want to cut that out. And it has EMG 707s in it, which are totally fine. They come pretty standard in most 7-string guitars. In most rock or metal guitars, you get EMGs in a lot of them. I don't have a problem with them, but I personally prefer a passive pickup, a medium to medium high passive pickup. That's more what I like. I personally think it has a little bit more life, a little bit more breath to it, and you can do a little bit more with them. That's just in my opinion. Different strokes for different folks, whatever. But this is your basic, I guess it's not a basic, but this is your budget guitar. The pros of it are that it's not that expensive. You're not going to pay a fortune for a budget guitar. That being said, if you pay $200 for a guitar and you expect it to play like an $8,000 guitar, it's not going to happen. Okay? It just isn't. It's not the same stuff. It's not the same wood. It's not the same guts. So don't expect to think that one is going to be like the other. On the flip side of that, if you paid $8,000 for a guitar and it plays like a $200 guitar, you got with budget guitars, you can usually pay a fair price for them and mod them out to play pretty damn well for the most part. When you pay usually like an alarmingly low price, you'll get imperfections in the guitar where you'll have like fret wire that may be sticking out or is very sharp, or your neck might be angled where you need to put shims in it if you can. There's a lot of inconsistencies if you buy like very inexpensive, very cheaply made stuff. So it's one of those you get what you pay for situations. Sometimes you get a really good one. Sometimes you just get lucky and you get a guitar that wasn't outrageous and it's awesome. This guitar, in my opinion, is one of the best budget guitars that I have ever played and ever owned. And I love it, and I plan on keeping it forever. I'm still going to use it on records. All right, now that we've seen the budget guitar and explained that a little bit, now let's move to my boutique guitar. Now, like I said, some of you are probably going to bitch because it's not a super boutique guitar. It didn't cost me $5,000 and it didn't take a year and a half to build or something like that. It's not like that. All right, this is my Solar E-Type 1.7 FBB guitar. It is a monster of a guitar, and I absolutely love this guitar. It is 7-string with reversed headstock, inline 7, lumen lay side dots, Solar Duncan pickups. It has a push-pull pot, so a coil tap. And one of the coolest things, aside from the satin finish on it, is that it has the Evertune bridge right there. And if you are not familiar with the Evertune bridge, you should be, because this thing is a phenomenal piece of technology. Basically, it kind of works like a Floyd in a way, where with the Floyd you have the locking nut, and with this you don't have a locking nut, you have locking tuners. So you get the guitar tuned close enough to pitch, and then you lock the tuners, and then down here you use a key and you actually fine tune the guitar within the saddles. And then that's it, you're ready to roll. And this thing really doesn't go out of tune. As long as you're in similar climates or humidity ranges, it should stay pretty much in tune the entire time. Now, one of the really cool things about the Evertune bridge is the zones. You have basically zone 1, 2, and 3. So the first zone is basically tuning up to the pitch that you need. Zone 2 is when you are tuned perfectly, and no matter how much you bend the strings, the note doesn't change. I think that is a super cool thing if you are very heavy-handed with your fretting hand, and maybe you push very hard and you tend to sharpen some of the notes when you're playing or trying to record. I think that's a great thing. Any guitar with an Evertune bridge is a phenomenal guitar to track with. And that's what I really wanted. I wanted a great guitar that I can use to record with, and that's what this is. Zone 3 is basically anything beyond the pitched note. What I do is I go to zone 2, and then I go all the way until it just goes beyond zone 2. So you'll turn it probably 8 or so times, and the note will stay the same. And then once you turn it that last time, you'll hear it go sharp. Well, then go back just a tiny bit, and you'll get to the correct pitch again. Then you'll have a guitar that bends just like a regular guitar, except it just doesn't go out of tune. How awesome is that? The significant differences in this guitar versus the other guitar is that some of the features are different. Obviously, the Evertune bridge is very nice and it's semi-costly. The quality control and the build care, the build quality and all that stuff of this guitar is very, very nice. It's very well made, and it sounds huge when I play it. And I absolutely love this guitar, and I'm super thrilled to be using Solar guitars now. I know Ola England actually goes to Spain and does quality checks on a lot of guitars every so often, and I think that's awesome. As a person who owns a company, if you are putting that kind of care into your quality, that's a good company that you want to be with. And it doesn't just have to be guitars, like I said, it can be anything. And if you're doing business like that, that guy is going to do good business forever, in my opinion. So if you haven't checked out one of these guitars, I highly advise you do. So now that we've looked at the guitars, now we have to think about the process. What do we want? That's the most important thing that you need to think of before you spend money on an instrument or a car or a computer or whatever the hell you're buying. You have to think of, what do you want? What companies provide the things that I want? Do I enjoy their business practices? The third one might not be as important to you as it is to me, but I like a company that does good business. Am I gonna spend a fortune on whatever this is and then constantly get dicked around by the people in quality? Features that you want and you need, and is it in your price range? Some people say, well, you know, I'd like to play your guitar, but it didn't cost $4,000. Piss off, all right? I like every guitar. I like all of them. Nice ones, old ones, new ones, shitty ones, garage sale ones. I don't care. I want to play them all and I want to own them all. I just enjoy the instrument. And if I think about it and look at it that way, it helps me always be able to enjoy the instrument, no matter what guitar I'm playing. I'm just happy I'm playing guitar. It doesn't have to be an outrageously expensive or super nice guitar. I'm just pumped to be doing it, period. And if you are one of those people that thinks that this guitar sucks because it's not, you know, a Mayones DeVille or it's not a Strandberg or something like that, then, dude, just shut up. Shut up. this is my personal opinion. I'm not into Strat style bodies. I'm not really into the headless guitars either. I think a lot of the body styles are neat looking, but ugly. That's just me. And I think it's cool the way that they have the whole guitar basically kind of compact. That's neat, but I'm a big guy and I already look dumb enough on stage. I don't need to play like a little fiddle and make myself look even more ridiculous. So I stay away from them. I get big guitars. I like them. I think the Explorer style body looks good and strong and powerful, and I just like it. It doesn't have to be an outrageous piece of gear or a piece of technology or whatever it is. It doesn't have to be outrageously expensive for you to enjoy it. It just has to have what you want and not break your bank to get it. If you want to save up for however long to buy your dream $3,000 or $4,000 guitar, go ahead. I hope that if you've saved up all of that money and spent it on an instrument and waited months or a year to get it, it better be exactly what you always dreamed of. Because I would hate to see somebody spend that kind of money and then get their instrument and then be super underwhelmed. I'm poor and I don't have that kind of money. If you do, that's awesome. Piss it away all you want to, man. I'm just trying to break these down just a little bit to help you guys. All of that being said, what do you guys think? Do you like budget guitars? Do you like more expensive guitars? Do you own a budget guitar? If you do, let me know in the comments. I would love to chat gear with you. Speaking of gear, last week I did a gear demo on the Nux Effects B5RC wireless system. And if you haven't seen that, go back and check that video out. That thing is super awesome, and I did distance tests with it and all types of stuff, and it sounds great. So I'm gonna be trying to do some more gear videos every once in a while, break down some more instrument stuff, so we'll see how that goes. Definitely let me know what you guys think of this video. Is there anything that I missed? I want to say thank you guys very much for tuning into this week's episode. I had an awesome time. I hope you guys had a great time. Please make sure that you like and subscribe and you share this, and somebody wire me $2 million just cause it sounds like a good idea. Let me know how you feel in the comments. Let me know if there's anything else I can do for you, or if you guys want me to test other things back to back like that again. I hope you have great Monday, and I hope you have a great rest of the week too. I'll see you guys next time. Later.